What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? It's about that time. And of course, we are a tad bit late, but better late than never. Episode 8, Planet Xbox. I am your host, Kid Smooth, aka The Best Spot. And we're short-staffed here tonight. I know iDizzy's running late, but he'll be here soon. Supposed to have Wiz in here, so maybe he'll hop in and send the link to his Twitter. But you guys know who I am. I'm going to let Lord Attic, have the floor for a moment. Please, let them know what's up.
What's going on, you guys? Thanks for, tuning in for the podcast. We should have a good show for you guys.
Yes, it's going to be awesome. Got a lot of things to talk about. And how you doing, Panda? What's up?
I'm good. What's up, everybody? Back for another episode of Planet Xbox.
All right, and if you're just joining,
started.
Oh, I'm sorry. And if you're just joining, hit that like button. Let's make sure for every person that joined in, you make sure you bang on that like button and let's get it popping. Shout out to Nicodemus. Isn't Trophy Life starting pretty soon?
I think it starts at 8.
Andres, Winter Horizon. What's up, everybody? Let's get into today's show. So, I want to open up with some Xbox news, of course. Actually, I almost forgot. We have to do this. Panda, what was the last achievement you unlocked?
I'm not sure. Hold on. Pass on me for now.
All right, Lord, Gaming Addict.
I got an achievement in Halo Wars for using the new leader. It's like Freeze or something like that, Mr. Freeze.
Awesome. My last achievement was like killing like 1,000 people in Mr. Shifty. I think it was like either 800 or 1,000. That's the game I've been playing, which comes out August 4th. But I'm gonna share some gameplay with you guys during this podcast, and I'll have a review up hopefully in the next couple days. Once I finish the game. But other than that, let's talk about the news. It looks like we're finally starting to see some Xbox One X promo. And this one comes at the courtesy of Xbox and Taco Bell. So what do you guys think of this? What do you think of this new rollout? Starting August 31st. If you buy the little $5 box at Taco Bell, you get a code. I think you'll send that as a text message. You enter your chance to win an Xbox One X, much like how PlayStation did it back in 2013 when they were launching the PlayStation 4, and also in 2015 when they were doing the Destiny bundle. Is this a smart move for Microsoft for the Xbox One X?
I mean, yeah, definitely, because a lot of people will. A lot of people eat at Taco Bell, that really goes off on that. When you see on TV, guess what you're going to see? Any kind of Taco Bell commercial, you're going to see that Xbox One X right with it.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea. I mean, it's a lot of advertising. So, I mean, every time that there's anything dealing with that Taco Bell $5 box, then, it can possibly boost sales because they're like, oh yeah, the Xbox One X.
Yeah, the thing is, in much the way of like PlayStation did it, anything like you bought, it had that little the obviously the console on the box, even on the drinks. There's going to be posters inside Taco Bell. The thing is, I think the important thing that I took from it is that, okay, this must means pre-orders are on their way and we should start seeing some real marketing for it. For this, it's August 1st. Console comes out November 7th, and this is the first kind of public thing related since E3 in regards to the Xbox One X. So I feel like this is like a sign to come. I'm almost guaranteeing Xbox One X pre-orders by Gamescom. I think it should be before Gamescom because I don't understand why announce a contest, a promotional contest before the thing's available for pre-order. But the pre-orders, the competition, the promotion doesn't start till August 31st. So it kind of makes sense for this the pre-orders to be announced at Gamescom and probably available by Gamescom.
Yeah, just, you know, what it comes down to, I do think I agree with you. They're going to definitely put that in, you know, for Gamescom. I believe they're going to go up on that stage and say, and right now you can go on whatever, you know, preferred retailer you use and pre-order at the moment. I think it'll go live right then and there.
Yeah, and I think so too. I think that would be the smart move. The smart thing to do with the Xbox One X. Will it help it? I think eventually it will. You know, who doesn't want a free Xbox One X? But it does help spread the word, that word of mouth, that awareness factor that we were talking about last week. I think it helps that tremendously. And I'm looking forward to see what they do next and also what they do. I also think it would be smart for them, you know, to try to collaborate with Amazon and Best Buy and put this system next to some high-end TVs, and even probably have a bundle where people could buy a TV and walk out with an Xbox One X as well. I think that would be smart product placement and marketing on their end as well.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
That's my marketing minor coming out. So another thing that was a topic this week that I wanted to talk about was in relation to Dead Rising 4 and it struggling to hit 1 million. Now, news came out that Dead Rising 4 didn't do so well. So it has not reached 1 million. They haven't even shipped 1 million. But this their sales is covering all platforms. This includes the Xbox One. This includes Windows. It includes Steam. And we had a debate. I had a debate with Porter Rock about this a little bit yesterday, but I kind of want to know some of your thoughts in regards to Dead Rising. I kind of already know what Addict's going to say, but I'd be happy if you address it publicly about Dead Rising 4 and why do you feel it's struggling.
Well, I think that they rushed Dead Rising 4 out the gate, just like Call Me Jay put in the comment section. I think that for the most part, people are blaming Microsoft for, you know, the failure of the game, and I think that is completely inaccurate. The reason this game failed is it wasn't because, you know, did Microsoft have a little bit to do with it? You know, we don't really know. We don't know who came up with that release date. For some reason, I feel like, you know, the publishers might have a say, but I don't think they have the, you know, the final say in it. So regardless, even with the release date, if it's a good Dead Rising game, it's going to sell decent. Look what Dead Rising 3 did. It sold like 2 million, didn't it? Yeah. Obviously, it was a launch title, but, you know, none of the Dead Rising games have been a complete flop. None of them have. And, you know, I feel like people are they're aiming to blame Microsoft because it's an exclusive. And it's like, look, Dead Rising was a bad game. It was a bad game. Dead Rising 4 was horrible. And, you know, Yoko, shout out to Yoki, said no advertisements. Come to think of it, did you guys see any advertisements?
I've seen the advertisement for Dead Rising on like YouTube and like on IGN and stuff like that, the little holiday theme, and on, of course, the Xbox console, you know, because Aaron Greenberg is known best for dashboard marketing. So,
and
I mean, personally, I didn't see anything outside of YouTube, but I that's just me.
And that's my honest thing is like, look, this game, it's not like this game was the caliber of like, you know, like a Halo 5 that was a good game that was overlooked or anything like that. This game was sucked. This game, you know, I hate to say sucks because, you know, this is someone's 3 or 4 years typically. I don't know how long they spent on this game, maybe a year and a half, max 2 years on this game. So I hate to say a game sucks, but at the end of the day, this game sucked. And, you know, it's not a console's fault. This game is it's Capcom's fault. They should have made a better game. The game would have sold better if it was better.
I personally enjoyed my time with the game. I enjoyed Dead Rising 4. I understand the release date. I mean, it was risky, but it was a high risk, high reward and type of scenario. Where they released it on December 6th, and it was an attempt, like I said, to capture that that last minute Christmas shop, Christmas gift. It was after Black Friday, but people are still shopping in December. It wasn't much. All the big games had already released, so it was kind of that. All right, let's see what we can do here. In hindsight, yeah, it's easy to say that wasn't a smart date. But in pre-planning, like, what, this is best time. It couldn't have come out in freaking April. It was themed around Christmas. If the game itself was themed around the holiday.
That's one of my issues. They rushed this game out because they themed it around a holiday instead of doing the overall, just make a game not themed around a certain holiday. So you have to rush it out in that certain holiday, and that's one of the reasons this game turned out the way it did. I mean, they did basic stuff that has made this franchise what it is today. They took it completely out. No co-op, really. Like the Cycle Pass were trash. They weren't anything like their predecessor Cycle Pass. The game deserved a flop. It just did. It
deserved a flop.
It just did. I'm sorry. Like, this game was a fraction compared to its predecessors.
I don't know about that. I don't think any game deserved to flop. I feel like now
No Man's Sky.
I haven't played it. I still like to play it. I just don't want to pay any type of major type of money for it. Like, you know what I mean? If I can get No Man's Sky for anywhere from $7 to $13, I do it. But as far as Dead Rising 4, looking at the Dead Rising series, right? I think the highest selling one was maybe Dead Rising 2 at possibly 3 million. These weren't highly anticipated games. These games don't traditionally break the door open when they go on sale. You know what I mean? It's they had two popular titles, very popular titles, and that was Dead Rising 2, and then by default Dead Rising 3, which was a launch title for the Xbox One, which also did the numbers it was supposed to do, being that it was a launch title only available on the Xbox One at the time, before later on launching on the Steam. But I don't know what the expectations were for Dead Rising 4. I felt like it was that third-party exclusive that Microsoft also needed to add to their holiday lineup for that year, because the year prior they had Rise of the Tomb Raider and stuff like that. I thought it was a good match. I would prefer a Dead Rising game either at the top of the year or in the middle of the year in the summer. But I don't know if that game suffered through bad timing, bad release, or being a poor game. But I don't think the game scored average at like the 70s. It was in the 70s as far as the Metacritic, right? If I'm not mistaken. It was so it didn't review bad at all. It was an average game. I had a ton of fun with it. I
felt like those people were taking pity on that game. I'm sorry, I just didn't like Dead Rising 4. Like, I went into that with the perception that I was gonna have a good time with a friend, and then I found out after I bought the game that it didn't have co-op, and I was mad disappointed. Like, that fact right there almost made me not want to play the game at all.
And that's a valid point, because Dead Rising 3 had co-op. I don't know about, did Dead Rising 2 have co-op? I didn't play too much into it. Dead Rising 2, my games were Dead Rising 1, Dead Rising 3, and obviously Dead Rising 4. I put a ton of hours into Dead Rising 3. I don't think I will ever match the amount of hours in Dead Rising 4 that I did Dead Rising 3. But that doesn't mean that I thought Dead Rising 4 was a bad game. But unfortunately, it didn't sell well. I don't know what Capcom's going to do. This is Capcom's... Capcom's had a lot of flops from 2016. In 2016, Street Fighter 5, that flopped. That didn't do well for them. I think their shining light in recent was Resident Evil 7, which that wouldn't count for 2016. I don't think, at least the fiscal year. I could be wrong.
I was definitely wrong on Resident Evil 7. I was definitely wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, man. Like, one thing I'm getting tired of these fanboys blaming, the consumer of, that console that it's for. Mm-hmm. It's like, look, like, it is never the consumer's fault when it comes to buying product. Make good games, the consumer will buy it. Don't make good games, they won't buy it. Point blank. End of conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. And Panda, did you play Dead Rising 4?
No, I didn't.
You're missing out.
Honestly,
really.
I mean, I've played previous ones, but after so many, it's just kind of like I get tired of it. So.
Okay. All right. And hold on, I'm sorry, I was replying to someone in the comments. Because I know people are bragging about the Rise of the Tomb Raider outselling the Xbox One version, but people tend to forget that there's more PS4 owners than Xbox One owners, but that's for another story. But as far as Dead Rising, what should we expect? Do we expect a Dead Rising 5? What do we expect from Capcom to really combat like the failures they had in Dead Rising and Street Fighter?
Would I like to see a Dead Rising? Yes, I'd like to see another one, but at the same time, it's like, look, you need to see that this game didn't sell as well as your predecessors. You need to go back to the drawing board, and you need to realize that, you know, you can't just throw out half-ass games and expect your fans of this franchise to pick it up. And so, you know, what I want Dead Rising 4 to sell enough to where it can, you know, it could be profitable, where it won't kill the franchise, but not enough where they think it's, you know, that was the direction they should have went.
Okay. That's fair. Now, speaking of this, because like a lot of people like to blame release dates on games flopping. We're looking at how Tomb Raider didn't sell what it was supposed to. Obviously, Dead Rising, Gears of War. Should Xbox start to avoid the holiday season for their exclusives?
Yes.
You think they should do it completely?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I mean, look, when it comes to it, kid, let's be real here. You know, there's very few games that Microsoft owns that could compete in that holiday thing. There's just name a game that you think. Do you think Crackdown is going to get affected because it's coming out?
Say that again.
Do you think Crackdown is going to get affected because it's coming out at that time of the year?
As far as sales?
In November.
See, if there was no Xbox One X, I would say yeah.
I don't even think Xbox One X is going to say, like, here, look, unless they show Gamescom and that multiplayer is everything that they've been claiming it is, maybe they can pick up their sales, you know, but my thing is I want them to start releasing games periodically through the beginning of the year and just leave that whole part of the end of the year to the third parties. Like, they're not competing with Destiny. They're not competing with Call of Duty. They're not competing with Star Wars Battlefront. The only game that can really do that is Halo.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're saying this game is probably going to be a flop out the gate?
Out the gate, I don't. It just depends on what they show at Gamescom.
Okay, so at Gamescom's to make a break for Crackdown.
But that's because they've been hyping the multiplayer. We got to see the multiplayer to really give a perspective if this game's going to flop or not. Because if this game is truly, you know, fully destructible, everything is in that multiplayer is destructible. It's like a GTA with destructible buildings. It will sell. It will sell because people like playing stuff like that with their friends.
Okay, Panda, what are your thoughts?
About the whole holiday thing?
Yeah, should they move their games out of the holiday?
I mean, it kind of depends, to be honest. I feel like if they could really get a little bit of extra advertising out there and then try to push it out during the holiday season, then it might be really good for them, and it might not. So, I mean, with a lot of the games that are exclusive to Xbox not being really exciting, I'm not sure really how that would go. But the holiday season is the time when everybody decides to buy, you know, games for their friends and family and even friends' families. So it's kind of hard to really say whether or not it'd be good or not. It just kind of depends on what route they want
Let's
to go with advertising and whatnot.
let's be real here. What games generally come out in the holiday for the most part?
Shooters.
It's usually
Multiplayer games. I would say out of Microsoft, I think Halo, if they dropped out Halo in the middle of Call of Duty and stuff, it wouldn't outsell Call of Duty, obviously, because Call of Duty is a multiplayer, but it would still, it would still make profit. I think that Sony could drop Last of Us. That's the only game I think they have that could survive a holiday rush. But besides Last of Us and Halo, I don't think there's any other first-party exclusives that could survive a holiday rush. I just don't. You don't think
any other exclusives
I don't
outside?
I don't even think Gears can.
All right, so here's the thing. I feel like the only reason why Microsoft are aggressive with their holiday lineups as they are now is because this is what worked for them in the past, and they obviously, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's worked with them so long, so it's like, why back out now? Now I can say this, just stepping out and looking at what Nintendo has done, stepping out and looking what Sony has done with their releases, that Microsoft should take a step back and say, you know what? We only really need one game in the holiday season, one big hit in the holiday season. Other than Forza, that's October, September. But I feel like they just need one mega hit where I feel like they should be like really purging the months of the summer, in the spring, at the early winter, the top of the year, where some of their games could take advantage of it. Now, one can argue, well, a game like Quantum Break, that game came out early April, still did not take advantage of that month alone.
I think you go and finish what you're saying.
No, it still didn't take advantage of that month alone. Titanfall 1, big title. It sold millions over time, but believe it or not, it could have done better when it came out in March.
I forgot they do have Killer Instinct. Man, I'm not a head-to-head fighter. I don't remember these games.
So, but go ahead, Gaming Addict. But that's just my 2 cents in, because I feel like they do have experimental games that did release outside the holiday season that also did not sell up to par.
I agree. See, here's the thing. Like, Sunset Overdrive that came out in August or November?
It came out October 28th, 2014. Okay.
So, October, who knows what came around that game. So, let's say you put that back, I don't know, February. It probably would have doubled its sales. I mean, look at games. These companies need to get that mindset out that they have to release their game in, the holiday season. Look at Dying Light, Shadow of Mordor. Like, both these games were pretty much new IPs. No one knew what they were. They put them out in these dead, dry months, and now look at Shadow of War coming out right in the holiday, because now it can compete with the holiday season, because the first one was so beloved because they dropped that in the middle of a dry spell.
Yeah, but the original release date would have slaughtered August had they kept it. But I feel like it was more helpful for Microsoft for that game to be pushed closer to the one's release in that scenario. But there's nothing wrong. I mean, but if the holiday season is it's like a battleground, right? And in your case for Shadow of War, it came out with the original one came out, and where there's little to no competition, and because now over time became a beloved title, definitely Game of the Year contender. Now they have the guns to compete and drop their game in the holiday season. Is that smart? Because what happened was Titanfall did the same thing, launched in a dead month, and then right around its sequel come, they have a little bit of hype. They're now multi-plat, coming on with going to the large install base.
I feel like happened. that's a different scenario though.
No.
You're looking at Titanfall 2 as a first-person shooter getting launched being sandwiched between the two biggest first-person shooters of that year, and you're looking at a third-person action adventure game that's getting launched, a month before November, because that's the bad month is November. The end of October, November, that's the really bad month. So I feel like it's not gonna, Shadow of War is so different. It don't really matter when they drop that. They could drop that anytime they really wanted to, because there's not a game like it. There's just not. Name me another game that's like Shadow of War.
Well, in the same realms
that has anything like the Nemesis system, anything close to
nothing
the
has a Nemesis system, but you can find a game that you would. I could see people walking in the store and be like, "Do I get Assassin's Creed or do I get Shadow of War?" Like I can see that happening.
Well, if it wasn't this Assassin's Creed, I would say Assassin's Creed stands no chance. This Assassin's Creed's a little bit different because it's not copy and paste people are interested in. I would say Shadow of War and Assassin's Creed is the only real competition they have with each other. Like those particular two games, their competition is not first-person shooters. It's just not. People are going to pick up those games because they want to pick up those games. It doesn't matter if people are picking up first-person shooters to those.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair assessment. But actually, we're going to take a quick break because we said we got some games to give away. So if you're in a chat, keep your eyes on that chat box. We got some games for Steam to give away. We're not going to tell you what they are. And maybe Gaming Addict may tell you what his game is. But I got a couple codes for Steam that I'm going to drop in the chat for you guys. And claim it as soon as they go in there. So I'm going to open up my email. Addict, is there anything else you want to cover or address in regards to this topic here? While I go first.
I mean, not really. It's for the most part, I want Xbox exclusives to succeed because if they succeed, the overall ecosystem's better. But I feel like one of the issues that their first parties is dwelling the way it is because they choose bad release dates. And for the most part, comes like Rise of the Tomb Raider. That was probably on Square Enix. And for some reason, that Japanese culture feels like, once they do something and once they commit to something, it's like their ego won't let them back down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, sometimes you got to do what's good for the brand and, necessarily put that ego to the side. Maybe Crackdown would do good because of, Xbox One X is coming out the same day, but it's not like this is a release date. It's not like Xbox One X is a new console and you can't get that. Xbox One X, for the most part, is a console that is going to sell multi-plats, and I don't think people are going to pick that up for Crackdown 3. I just don't.
You don't think people are going to pick up the X for Crackdown 3?
No, they might pick up Crackdown 3 with it because it's coming out the same day, but no one is going out there to buy Crackdown or buy an Xbox One X just to play Crackdown.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure on a commercial success of Crackdown. But then again, I look at how people bash games like No Man's Sky and some other games that before they released, and that it was talked about so much that it became infamous and that it sold based off that. So, you know how they say any publicity is like good publicity? In that case, I know Crackdown is getting a bad rap. They have one more major chance to turn that around, and that's with Gamescom. But as far as Microsoft releasing their games in the holiday season, like I said, the holiday season is important, and I feel like each platform holder, whether it be Nintendo, because remember we gotta stop acting like Microsoft is the only one that does this, but. There was a time,
for the most part, Microsoft are the only one that does this.
If you go back to the generation of Xbox, PS2, and GameCube, or the 360 and PS3 and Wii, each big platform order would at least have a major game coming out in the holiday season.
I feel like back in that generation, the exclusives was the hot shit. You know, there wasn't no Call of Duty at its peak. You know, there's no Destiny. There was no Shadow of War type games. You know, for the most part, the big games that came out every year was the exclusives for both consoles. But now it's not the same thing. You know, for the most part, the third parties run shit. They run the game.
Well, but the third parties has always been there. But I feel like back in the day, the big players like Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo were all participants then. And they did fine when they did that.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, you know, but I'm just saying that I feel like they need to look more into what's going on. That's all.
Okay.
Let me bring up the release dates again.
Yeah.
So another big factor is the games that are coming out around the holidays as well for the competitors. I know that it was a while back. I think it was whenever one of the Call of Duties was coming out, and I believe it was Black Ops, but I can't remember. But there was a Silent Hill game that was set to come out around the same time as Call of Duty was going to come out. And then whenever Call of Duty announced its release date, one of the Silent Hills was immediately pushed back to a later release date because they didn't want to compete with Call of Duty.
Yeah,
so
in the past, but a lot of studios and other publishers have moved their games around when Call of Duty was completely running things, moving their games around Call of Duty. They either try to get it out before or just after. But yeah, I do recall something like that happening. It's the same thing with the Rockstar. Like they have the power to, like, if they have a game, whether it be Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto, most publishers, if they have a game coming out around that same time, unless you're an indie dev, they're moving the game. If it's ready sooner, they're gonna move it sooner. If they want to move it later, they'll move it later.
Yeah, so if they're worried about releasing a game over the holiday season because of competitors, then they should definitely not release it during the holiday season.
Yeah, but I think people are underestimating the value of the shopping season. People are going out and all the stuff is on shelves. Is the reason why these big games are coming out in the holiday season in the first place is because that's the biggest shopping time. So it's like it's like this. It's like, how do you not have anything to put out to capitalize on that? Are you expecting to sell games that came out in June the most during that time frame? Like, I don't know. I don't see it that way. So I feel like at least it should be at least one mega hit. Now,
I mean, I could see that.
I don't see any of the games, with the exception of maybe Forza 7. I don't see any of the exclusives that Xbox is putting out this fall really denting anything. I do feel like Xbox versions of the third-party games this time around is going to be a big factor in sales. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, to see in North America which version of a game, sold the best coming this holiday. I want to tell you guys about this game, right? So I was playing this game, Mr. Shifty, and I don't. The game comes out August 4th for Xbox. It's already out for the Switch and whatnot. It's a cool ass game. It's by Tiny Build. Also, they're about to do the Hello Neighbor game, which is also due to come out this month. But I'm thinking, top down, nice game. It looks good. It controls well, feels great. But this thing can be freaking challenging. Mr. Shifty comes out August 4th. It's $14.99. It's available for the Switch. I also believe it's available on Steam. It will be available on the Xbox One. sharing you guys with some gameplay of this game if you haven't touched it, if you haven't even played it on the Switch yet. Now, I'm pretty sure it's on PlayStation. I'm not too sure, but somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. The game controls well. It's fast, frenetic. It's a cool art style. I will be having a review out for this game probably the day that it comes out, or if not the day before. I might stream it after the podcast, or I might stream it tomorrow, because I got a lot of games to stream this week. But just in case if you guys are interested, Mr. Shifty, it does come out on August 4th for the Xbox One, and if you have a Switch, you can buy it now. So like I said, plays good, looks good, story's generic, but it's a pretty fun game. Now let's go to another topic, right? So the LawBreakers beta had just wrapped up. I got to play it on PlayStation, had a good time with that. Cliffy B, kind of pissed off some Xbox fans and fanboys with his tweets of how he every time it comes to LawBreakers, he said he can always count on Xbox fanboys to be there, happy to see them interested and whatnot. And so that caused a lot of stir. He was tagging in people like Ryan McCaffrey and all these other developers and journalists who generally don't have much great things to say about the Xbox or the Xbox fanboys. So Twitter for that day became like a big clusterfuck. So Cliffy B game is due out this month. I don't know what day this month that is due, but before I go on, did any of you guys get to play LawBreakers, whether on a PC or PlayStation?
No.
All right, so
I didn't get to play it, but I got to watch my boyfriend play it. So.
And what did by watching it, what did you think, as far as from a watcher's perspective?
I thought it looked awesome. I really wanted to play it. I feel like it was a little bit easier to watch because it's so fast paced.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked it, just from what I saw.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I played it, when I first played it, I played it like as a random by myself, playing with a random team and whatnot. I was like, I wouldn't buy this shit on impulse, you know what I mean? But then when I got in with a couple friends from Twitter and stuff, and then working as a team, I was like, all right, this game is actually pretty dope. It's pretty fun. It's more in the same category as like Battleborn and Overwatch and whatnot. So I don't know how long it will last or how popular it will be when you have games already that is really matching it. But it's fast paced. And
I've actually heard it compared to Overwatch, and they said it's like an Overwatch / Titanfall on crack.
Yeah, or I've heard like an Unreal version of Overwatch. You know what I mean? Like it's cool. It's a fun game. The game, I can imagine. The game would be great if it was on Xbox. Only because I played it on a PlayStation controller. It just felt like really weird. It just felt unnatural. But eventually you get used to it. But
yeah, the disconnect with the PS4 controller is real with me too.
Yeah. But it is a fun game. I can't deny that. If you don't have, however, I couldn't do this if I did not have any really friends. If I didn't have like a bunch of people for me to, because it comes out this month, so I still have to decide whether if I'm gonna get it or not, because I need to know who's getting it and how often they plan to be on it for me to commit to the game. Because the game was supposed to be a free to play. It's no longer a free to play. It's going to be $40 game, or is it $40 or $30? But because it's that cheap, it's more like a buy-in. So it's still going to have a lot of those free to play mechanics, those free-to-play features. I feel like that's going to take advantage of this game. Not to knock it, I think it's going to be great. PC players are going to have a great time with it. PlayStation gamers are going to have a good time with it because, like I said, it's another one of those games. And maybe you're not great at Overwatch. Maybe you're not great at Battleborn. But maybe Overwatch, not Overwatch, but maybe LawBreakers could be like, all right, you know what, this one's for me. But this is an Xbox podcast, and LawBreakers isn't an Xbox game. So you guys want to know, is the Xbox missing out with LawBreakers? Now, go ahead.
You know, I do think we should probably put in, you know, his statement after we talk about, you know, if it's worth on the Xbox brand. I definitely think, you know, it is worth it. I haven't played it, but, you know, more games is always a good thing. But, you know, there are certain occasions where, you know, some games are just not worth porting. But, you know, I don't think LawBreakers is that case. It looks fun. It's just like I'm kind of done. I'm getting tired of the Overwatch clones and, you know, all these games that's coming out with that, you know, not aim down sights thing. Like, I don't like games that don't let me aim down sights. Can you aim down sights in that game?
No, not quite.
I just don't like games that don't let me aim down sights. Yeah. I mean, we got into that big argument yesterday on Xbox Live over Halo.
Yeah.
It's just like, I cannot stand a game. We in 2017 and why games still not letting me aim down sights? That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, and that's what I kept trying to do.
People be acting like, you know, people. No one hip fires. Stop with that shit. No one hip fires.
See, I can kind of see where you're coming from. Even though I've played a lot of Overwatch, that was one of the things I had to get used to as well.
But no aim down sights?
Yeah, not aiming down the sights.
Yeah, it took.
But there's also different characters that are like just melee characters.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that's probably why they got rid of it. But I mean, it kind of, I don't know. It kind of gets a little bit more fun after a while. Not having to do that, and it's a little bit more challenging when you're not aiming down the sights. And honestly, it kind of helps. Yeah, it kind of helps improve gameplay in other games too. Like Destiny, whenever I played the beta, I had played so much Overwatch before that, so I was hip firing and aiming down the sights.
Well, I mean, that's one thing. You know, I'm not saying no aim down sights whatsoever. I mean, no hip firing whatsoever. I'm just saying that I feel like we're at a point in gaming where it should always be an option. It's just like, you know, when you come up on someone close quarters, you know, on Destiny, I do it all the time. You know, I get in these tight corridors and I hip fire until he gets about half health, and then I aim down sights or melee, and I do it all the time. But it's just like, I feel like we've gotten to a point where it should at least, you know, they should at least be the option to do it.
Yeah. And I tried playing the game, trying to aim down sights, and you know, obviously I felt miserably. I ended up doing another action. I'm like, okay. So, but you can get used to it. You can get used to it. It's just, the thing is, with games like that, with games like Overwatch, and just like Panda said, where like some characters are, you know, are more melee characters. When I consider games like Overwatch, LawBreakers, and like game like Gigantic, I select a character that identifies most with a shooter. Right. Yeah, like I would completely ignore any type. Give me the one that has the gun and that can just continue to shoot. That's who I'll pick, and I'll make it work. But when you do that, you're like, crap, I can't play this like a traditional shooter. So, but I mean, go ahead.
One thing about Overwatch is, for the people who are so used to aiming down sights, I feel like there are some characters, like you said, that can kind of, not completely, but kind of relate to people who like to aim down the sights. So, for instance, like Tracer has two guns, so they're kind of, you know, whenever you're shooting those guns, they're kind of centralized. Now, with Soldier 76, he's holding the gun on the right, so it kind of throws you off a little bit.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You know, so the characters who hold two guns, like Reaper and Tracer, they're a little bit easier because they're on either side, so it feels a little bit more centralized. But I can still see the issue with not being able to aim down the sights.
It's not that. It's not, you know, I guess, you know, maybe I was too hasty when I said that. You know, games like Overwatch, games like that, they build the entire game based around no aiming down sights. You know, so those games are a little bit better, but for the most part, it's like Fallout 3. You know, when Fallout New Vegas was made, it's just like I felt like games innovate putting stuff like that in, because Fallout 3 you had no aim down sights, because a lot of people don't like it because when you are able to aim down sights in Fallout, New Vegas and Fallout 4, the what's that mode called that you use in Fallout?
VATS?
Yeah, VATS is less effective. So a lot of people were bitching about that. But I do. If people like no just hip firing, that's cool, man. I have no problem with it. But I do want to address something real quick. Overwatch is not a MOBA. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, some of our viewers are calling it a straight-on MOBA.
It's not. It's not a MOBA.
Yeah, so, well, actually, what would you consider Overwatch? An arena shooter? Or
say a MOBA has lanes, then there's tower defense MOBAs, but for the most part, I don't know. What would you guys in the comment section consider Overwatch? I can't really put it's not a MOBA.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I mean, I
don't know. I really have no clue. Like, it's kind of like, okay, gigantic. That's not a MOBA. I don't think that's a MOBA.
I mean, I can kind of see where they're getting MOBA.
Yeah.
Just because, like, Overwatch or League. Okay, so let's start with League of Legends.
There is
League of Legends
in gigantic, isn't there? I don't know. It's
League
weird.
of Legends started. League of Legends was the start, and then what was that game called? Was it Smite?
Yeah, Smite. Smite's a good MOBA. I like Smite.
Smite came out, and then Overwatch, was when people started playing it, they started relating it to Smite and League of Legends, just because it was that, let's go straight over to the enemy team and all that, and it shows a lane in the game that you can follow. So I can see where they kind of are getting that it has like the MOBA elements in it, but I don't see it as a MOBA.
What's his name? Team Halo said Overwatch is a team-based shooter. I would agree with that. It's a team-based shooter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Overwatch is a good game. There's a reason. There's a reason it got so much praise in that Game of the Year. Speaking of gigantic, why aren't you guys talking about or playing it? Actually, me and Kids play gigantic a lot. Thank you, King.
Yeah, we'll stream it soon. Did we try it? No, we didn't stream it because I didn't want to stream it because I thought it was going to be like a horrible experience because the way my setup was before. But no, me and Gaming Addict spend some nights, like we turn it on late night and we go ham on gigantic. I will say I do need to throw in more time in it, like legit time, stream it more maybe so people can see it more. But it's an awesome game, and maybe we'll probably do something tonight with gigantic. But it is an awesome game. I love the way it plays. So some of the characters I feel is OP, but it is an amazing game, amazing experience if you have not played gigantic.
I mean, look, you guys are going at with this whole Overwatch thing. Look, Overwatch is a fun game. It is, do I think it's over exaggerated? Hell yes. It's not the greatest game that's ever been put in the shooter genre, but it is a fun game. I can't deny that.
Now, because we were on a topic of LawBreakers, and the question was, is Xbox missing out on LawBreakers? Now, the most cliche answer would be, of course it is, because any game that's not available on your platform, you're pretty much missing out. Is it anything, that is LawBreakers a game where I'm like, what, I'm going to buy a PlayStation because of that, or I'm going to suit my rig up to play that game? It's not. There is a lot of games in LawBreakers category that are available that may be better. I don't know. Not to say LawBreakers is a bad game. It's not. From what I played in the beta, it's not bad. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoy it, especially if I'm playing with friends. It's not something, like I said, I would buy on impulse. I would have to buy that with being assured that I have at least 3 to 4 committed friends that will be playing this game, so I'd always have somebody to play with this. Because a game like LawBreakers, you want to maximize the time. You want to get your money's worth of it. So you want to play it a lot. So I don't find it a fun game when you're a random. I do find it extremely fun when you have your buddies in there, and that's why I think that's what's going to determine whether I buy the game. I just have to verify with a couple of people on Twitter and YouTube to see who's buying that game, and I'll determine if it's a day one purchase. But as Xbox gamers missing out, not much, but I will say this: when this game does come to Xbox, or if it ever does come to Xbox, you will have a great time. Maybe you may find it being one of those games that just does it for you. So who knows? I feel like with an Xbox controller in my hand, this game would be beast. But right now, I'll deal with the PlayStation controller until it's available on Xbox.
It's always fun to have a fast-paced shooter. I mean, regardless what game it is, it's always fun to have a fast-paced shooter.
I mean, I feel like for the people who have an Xbox and a PlayStation, that's whenever LawBreakers is, one of those games that a lot of the people who have both they're gonna buy the game. But I mean, I don't know. I don't remember where I was going with that.
Well, but good question though. What's going on with his statement that he said about it's not as easy to port games over to the Xbox One X.
Let's talk about Cliffy B's statement, because it sounded like he was calling other developers lying, and just a day after, the Killing Floor devs come out and say it took them 4 hours to get the game up and running. Ported from their Xbox One to their to the Xbox One X dev kit. Now, Cliffy B may be correct on one thing, right? He could say it's not that easy because maybe there's no Xbox One version of LawBreakers that exists for him to port over to the Xbox One X. Maybe he doesn't even have an Xbox One X dev kit. There's a lot of developers a lot of studios that don't even have an Xbox One X dev kit. So that's the only way I can see it. Because when they're saying it takes maybe mere hours or a day to port games over to Xbox One X, now they're saying this from the Xbox One with the base game already being on the Xbox One, from a completely different platform. Or of course,
that's going to take longer.
It's different, Sure, they got the PC on their side, but this is not like a UWP title or anything like that. So also you can't really rely on that. So yeah, when they make the Xbox version, sure, they'll probably get LawBreakers up and running in a couple hours on the Xbox One X if they get the Xbox One version up and running. So we'll see. So that's my take on Cliffy B's. I felt like he should have just said what he meant, unless if he really meant that it's not easy from going from an Xbox to Xbox One X, then he I don't know, I think he's just saying things to piss off Xbox fans. But I honestly think because he either doesn't have a dev kit or there's no Xbox One version for him to port the game over to give an accurate estimate.
I feel like when it comes down to are you finished with your
sorry I remember what I was going to say.
Okay.
I was going to say, when it comes to people buying a PlayStation just for the game, I guess it depends on the fan base of that particular type of game and if they're really excited for it, because there are games that everybody is not excited for at all, and I bought a PlayStation just to play that game.
That is good.
Play what game?
Death Stranding.
Oh, Death Stranding.
Oh my God.
I mean, you bought a PS4 to play a game that's coming out on the PS5.
Well, the thing is, it's like that's what I mean though. Like before, like when I first heard of Death Stranding, that they were working on it, that's when I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy a PlayStation. And then not only that, but I bought a PlayStation with PT on it from a friend, just so I could play PT. So I guess it depends on the fan base.
Here's
you must be really in love with Kojima, aren't you?
Yeah.
I love
she was
Kojima.
fangirling out like a motherfucker at E3. Like she was like, "Where is he? I gotta see him."
Listen. I don't care if Death Stranding isn't coming out till 2020. I got the Sony. I'm good.
But I do want to point out. Someone said Clifford B is just using console wars to promote his game. Do you think that's accurate?
I think that's accurate.
I think he is trying to play off. It's like, the Lords of the Fallen did. I do think he's trying to play off it a little bit. Do I think he's lying about his statement? No. It's like you said. I feel like it'd be easier to port your system when you already have an Xbox One, because I feel like if you're porting it from Xbox One to Xbox One X, there's not a lot of optimization that you have to do. But when you have to make something you have to make the port. The port's not there yet.
Yeah.
He's got to make the actual port, then put it to the Xbox One, and then port it to the Xbox One X. So that is going to take longer. He's not lying about that.
Yeah. Yeah, but do I think, I feel like Cliffy B is, and Cliffy B is not the only person to do this, to build a hype around games and then using the console wars and the fanboys to help rile that up. Because if you say anything, especially of that structure, if you're a developer, a publisher, behind a big game or for one platform, and you say that you're going to get clicks, you're going to get a response, and you're going to make headlines. Especially if you got a game coming out. I felt Titanfall did this last fall when it was the whole blue disc scandal. Oh, my blue disc is better than blue better than green. Of course, that was going to do something. It didn't work out for them. But of course that they do that. And I'm not mad at them.
I got to disagree with this comment. Cliffy B wouldn't have anything to say if he wasn't getting bothered. That man looks like he's a very vocal, opinionated person. I think he would say shit regardless if he's getting bothered or not.
Yeah.
Look what he said at the bars. Look what he said at the PC gaming show. It was completely facts, but he is definitely, if I think it's coming out.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, let me see what we got here. Is a couple of things that there was this video that appeared on YouTube, and it was just teasing the Crash menu. It was like the Crash Bandicoot menu, and that's all it was. But there was just one little thing that was just noticeable, is that all the button prompts were Xbox button prompts rather than PlayStation button prompts. And of course, that video just kind of just confirmed that Crash is definitely coming to the Xbox One. And now we were all checking and slowing down the video, looking for some poor Photoshop jobs and whatnot. But no, it was natural. It was native. Any thoughts on the highest, the biggest surprise game as far as commercial success with the Crash Bandicoot reboot coming to Xbox? Any thoughts on there?
I think it's coming to Xbox. It's like, shout out to Randolph Thor. He said in his video, look, they've been asked if it's a exclusive or timed. They've never came out openly and said it because that's a PR nightmare. You don't want to come out. You don't want to pull Tomb Raider. Before the game even comes out, say, yo, it's coming to the competition.
Yeah.
So it's definitely coming to Xbox. I don't know when. I don't know if it is going to come out this year or not. Yeah, I think it said next month, didn't it? Like 9/24 or something like that. So
that's a weird timed exclusive.
Yeah.
If it's coming out in September,
I would figure 6 months. But is Crash the biggest question? Is Crash going to sell on Xbox?
Shout out to the Wiz, man. You're like a whole hour late, man. What's up?
Yeah, I fell asleep and then I woke up and I was like, "What am I supposed to do?" And then I saw your message. And I was like, "Oh shit!"
we're gonna have to reconsider our guest options now, man. If people just don't show up, I'm just joking with you.
The magic dust got me, man. The wizard fell asleep.
I had to disagree with you, K. Sammy. I think Crash would do decent on Xbox. I do.
Well, listen, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like. Will it do what it did on PlayStation? No, it won't.
No, not by any means.
It won't make any noise. You know.
By the time it comes out on Xbox, it's not the new shit. It's not the shit everyone wants to play. If they came out at the same time, would it have still sold better on PlayStation? Damn right. The game originated on there. It's got. You can't think of Crash and not think of PlayStation, but I do think it would be very profitable. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. Well, you want to know what I did with my Crash? I traded it in.
Well, obviously, because it's not exactly an easy game, and you.
I didn't think it was hard. I didn't think it was hard. It's just that I played another. I can get into this, and I was like, I don't really care for it. You know what I mean? Will I buy it on Xbox if it comes out? I don't know. Maybe glad to buy it. I probably won't. So, but yeah, Crash on Xbox. Will it sell? Wiz, you got any thoughts on this?
Will it sell? It might sell, but I think everybody who wanted Crash has gotten it on PlayStation.
Yeah. So
I think if they haven't released it within like the next month or two, there'd be no point.
No, I think people are still gonna buy it on Xbox. There's a huge install base that only have one console. I do think people will pick up Crash. It's not gonna do anywhere near the numbers it did on PlayStation, but I guarantee you it's profitable.
It might, but I mean,
let's be real here. Look at that game. How they've already made profit. First off, just the PlayStation. Like, let's look at it from the standpoint. Like, how hard would it be to port it? It's not gonna cost a whole lot of money. They're gonna do it. It's inevitable.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's true. It's because not a true exclusive, but it might be released. But I don't know how well it's going to sell, though.
I'd say it sells over 1 million.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Crash. That's what people keep realizing. They think that just because it's a PlayStation thing. Well, a lot of people on Xbox they are up there in the age, and guess who played Crash when they were younger and they don't have a PlayStation? I'm sorry, there are. Crash is for the hardcore base, it's one of those games that you link it to PlayStation, but a lot of casual people know what Crash is. What sells? Casual games. And that's a casual game. Sure, when casual market picks this shit up, you see on Twitter, they ain't liking the game after they actually play it because it's hard as hell. But they will pick it up just because they want to try it because they remember, playing it when they were younger.
That's funny.
I think it'll probably do like more the numbers of Quantum Break when that released.
Nah, Quantum Break was trash. There's a reason that game didn't sell.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus.
No, cool. I think
cool.
I think it'll do along the lines of every I could see it selling.
Watch some bundle with the X.
Oh,
no. However, I can't wait to see what it looks like on the X. Those comparisons.
Oh shit! 4K,
Did I ever
60
tell
frames.
you guys what happened to me in Quantum Break?
No, you didn't. Let's hear it. What happened to Panda and
Okay.
Quantum Break? Let me mute my mic for this.
So, I was trying to get past some part in the beginning of Quantum Break. And I was already frustrated with the game. And I really didn't enjoy it, especially after this. But I was getting through a part, and this car blew up in the distance. And the car door hit the wall and hit my character, and he died. And I had already died so many times, I just shut off the game, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm never playing this again. And I actually still have it recorded on my Xbox.
Oh, really? You gotta share that. So
It was
we'll
horrible.
put that in the next Planet Xbox. You gotta
Hey,
get that to me.
I ain't gonna lie. If Battlegrounds is bundled with the X, that might get people to buy it.
Nah, it won't be. It'll be in preview still by then. But yeah,
Well,
Panda, I
obviously,
need that
you know what I'm saying.
Quantum Break gameplay. Put it in there because I need to see that happening. But you haven't played Quantum Break since then?
Yep. Nope.
Shame
I
on you.
had already died so many times. I was just over it. The door the car door blew up way in the distance. I saw like the little speck of explosion, and the car door flew against the wall like it was flapping in the wind like a piece of paper or something, and then hit my character, and my character died.
Wow. I got to see that.
I was so mad.
Hey,
I will get it, and I'll get it to you.
This comment section coming at me. You know what else I'm gonna say? Sunset Overdrive was trash too.
Stop that. All right?
Sunset
Stop
Overdrive.
that. Sunset Overdrive is still one of my favorite Xbox One games in existence. And speaking of, just to give you guys a PUBG Player Unknown's Battleground update, they did have an update now. It does support Xbox controllers now, so that's why I'm actually going to buy that game today. So I'm gonna get trashed because everybody's gonna be using keyboard and mouse, but it does have Xbox controller support. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying it out. But the home for that game for me will be on the Xbox One X.
Hey, everyone in the comment section, if you want Kid to stream damn it, Pug. What's it called?
Pug?
No,
The
what's
dog?
it called?
Player Unknown.
Yeah,
Battlegrounds.
Player Battlegrounds. If you want Kid to stream Player Unknown Battlegrounds, put box emojis in the comment section.
Box emojis. Oh my god.
Hold on, fam. I got one on my phone.
What is it? What else that I want to talk about? We've been on for I think just over an hour.
Here's the box emojis.
Oh, they're coming. Oh crap. Attic, you got a game to give away. Can you do some Xbox trivia?
I already gave it away.
You did? Oh my god! When in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh,
I will take loaf emojis too. That's acceptable.
Loaf emojis. Hold on. I got that one too. Fuck, I got a cucumber.
No, that's not acceptable.
There you go.
So any questions from the
That's an
chat
eggplant.
other than emojis that you guys have any questions on in regards to Xbox or Xbox related?
I do want to bring up a topic though.
Go ahead.
That we could talk about real quick.
Sure.
So I saw it's called Sphere. It's the equal to I Am Setsuna.
Mm-hmm.
Lost Sphere, I think it's called. So they did announce that it's not coming out for Xbox. So what I want you guys to do you think that not having any kind of Japanese oriented games, like maybe they don't make them exclusively, but do you think that these games aren't coming out? Do you think that's a problem, that they're still just not coming out at all, but they're coming out? Dude, it's coming out for the Switch. All right, we got to talk about this.
It's a problem.
It's coming out for the Switch, but not Xbox. What's going on, kid?
It's a problem. Anytime they miss any type of releases that go to the Switch and other consoles, it's a problem. Because
I'm gonna say this. I think the Japanese are, what's the word I'm looking for? It can't be race.
Oh my god.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Nationality?
Yeah, they're nationalists. That's probably the wrong word.
fair.
No, they really have like a grudge against like the Xbox or maybe Americans. I don't know. Maybe they haven't really given us for World War II.
We did kind of go to war with them and drop a bomb on them.
Yeah,
So
they still haven't recovered. You know what I mean? I've been saying the Xbox should just pull out of Japan. It's like it's not really necessary.
Japanese people love Americans.
All right, Chris.
White people. It's mainly because they don't trust the brand because the way we do business, especially when it comes to games.
Look, when it comes, like, I know it probably won't sell the greatest on the Xbox, but what I'm saying is it should be on it. Let's be real here. Microsoft should make sure that this is on the Xbox at all means. This is something simple. It's not even a really graphically impressive game. See if you can bring it up on your screen if you can. This game is not graphically impressive at all. There's no reason this isn't on Xbox, but it's on everything else.
I Am Setsuna, it is called?
No, it's called here, you just get questions, I'll find it.
Okay. Let's see what we have in the chat.
It's called Lost Sphere.
Lost Fair. If this game is some anime like crap, dude, I think you're making too big of a deal. Lost Fair.
he's going to see this and he's going to say I'm making too big of a deal. But it's a big deal. Like, we're not getting little, like, indie games. It's an indie game, but we're not getting stuff. But it's made by Square Enix and Tokyo
but Square Enix
RPG.
has been boycotting, like, they don't put all their games on Xbox. We're like, it's called
Lost Sphere. SPHER.
Wait, say that again?
Lost Sphere.
Okay.
SPHEAR.
SPHEAR. Okay.
Well, I get it's about the market.
Oh my god, dude! Are you freaking kidding me? Like,
it's
really,
still,
dude?
like, okay, I Am Setsuna didn't come out. Came out for everything else but the Xbox. Now Lost Sphere. When are we going to have to be like, yo, like, that's enough? Like, and it's part of Xbox, dude. They're not going after these. They're not making sure these games are coming out for their platform. Regardless of what it sells, it still needs to come out for the platform.
Oh, I'm not impressed.
That's very true. Because every game you miss, you're missing out on an audience member. Because I have friends that would have an Xbox.
And, you know, I see people in the comment section keep saying, you know, it's okay. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out. Kingdom Hearts is too big not to come out on Xbox.
It's just like a freaking Game Boy Advance game.
Oh my God, shut up! Like,
oh my God.
The thing is, if you don't bring that market to the console ever, it's never going to build a following.
Yeah, here goes the Switch version. Oh, no, where is it? Where's the Switch version? Where is the Switch?
It's coming out on Switch. It's coming out on Switch. The game that gets no third parties is getting a game that Xbox isn't. That's a problem.
That is a problem.
It's Square Enix. Square Enix is like one of them shady dudes. They're really you work with them, but you know they don't like you. You know, that's what Square Enix. That's what Square Enix is to Microsoft. You know.
Well, I mean, they've worked deals out for, you know, Tomb Raider. They've worked out deals for Final Fantasy 15.
And look how they treated Tomb Raider. They're like, oh no, we're bringing it to PlayStation before Xbox, before it can even come out on Xbox.
I will agree.
Square Enix.
I will agree with you.
Square Enix. I'm sorry, Square Enix. I'm sorry. You can suck ass as a publisher. You suck. You got rid of your best, some of your best developers, some of your best IPs, and you keep the IPs that take 20 years to make. So Square Enix can suck ass. You know what I mean? With a little bit of dingleberries on the side.
I've said in the past that they don't need to, you know, when people say they need to make, you know, JRPGs, people always say Xbox needs JRPG exclusives. Okay, if you get something like Mistwalker to make it, that's acceptable. But you cannot expect an American company to make Japanese games. That's the Japanese market that makes Japanese games.
Shout out to Tiger King. He says, what do you think about that game Tacoma? Doesn't that game come out tomorrow? I've been trying to get early access to the game, but they've kind of just gave me the cold shoulder, so I gotta wait until tonight or tomorrow to play it. It looks like a game I'd be interested in. So if I pick it up, I think it's like $20. I'll stream it sometime this week.
Do y'all? Yeah, he's gonna pick it up. You kids have been all about that game. Do you guys think that the next Tomb Raider will be Xbox exclusive again? Probably not.
No, of course not.
Unless Microsoft gave them a big check to say,
if Square Enix
us.
is still publishing, no, it's not. You know, and it probably wouldn't be worth it. But it did make a good enough imprint where I feel like it will do well on the Xbox, as well as the PlayStation when it does release, and I'm looking forward to it. One thing both consoles are lacking are those Tomb Raider, Uncharted, Indiana Jones type games. I love games like that. There's nowhere near enough of them. So there's nowhere near enough of them. So hopefully, I'm looking forward to Tomb Raider. It's going to probably come out early next year, probably. Maybe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And I do agree with South. It's probably going to be marketed by PlayStation. Let's be real here. The next Tomb Raider.
PlayStation got the guns.
Have any of you guys tried Path of Exile? I played probably 10 minutes of it.
Who wants a Path of Exile beta in the comment section?
No, can you please do a trivia and get?
Yeah, I guess I can do a trivia.
So we got the Path of Exile code for one of you guys. Gaming Addict's going to give you guys some Xbox trivia, and we're going to test your Xbox knowledge. Can you do this like off the top of your dome piece?
Who?
I got a question.
All right, Wiz, you can ask it then.
Okay. What is this Xbox?
No. He's not doing the Xbox trivia. No, it has to be
okay.
AJ. I'm about to say if you had a question that's different. But because
Okay.
No, I was saying he can do that. I'll let the guest come up with the question this week. That's fine.
all right, cool.
Okay. What is the Xbox the spiritual successor of?
Well, that's an easy ass one.
Oh my god.
Nah, they too young, man. They too young.
They too young.
Yeah.
Saying we have a bunch of 3D gamers in the comment section.
Yeah, y'all got a bunch of 3D gamers, man. They was born in 2006.
Sega.
Well, they old. They old. That's all. They old.
All right, so who was the first one to get it right? Because that's who won the code.
That's up to Wiz. You have to say. You have to call it.
Call Me Jay came up with it first.
All right.
Call Me.
Call me Jay. Can you hit me or Lord Attic up on Twitter, or put your Twitter handle in the chat so we can follow you and we can DM you the Path of Exile code. Call me Jay. We need your Twitter handle, bro.
Hold up. You know what? I'm gonna actually do one better. I think Call Me Jay's the one I gave the other one to. So I'm going to put his in the comment section.
You're gonna put his code in the comment
Hold
section?
on. No. Go follow homeboy.
Oh, okay.
And I will send him the message with the Path of the Exile. I don't. If you have it, man, just give it to someone else. I don't know.
All right.
Call me Jay old.
Nice, Jay. All right, guys. So what are we gonna do to close the show? You know, is about that time. We talked about Xbox holiday. Should they move games out of the holiday season? Crash Bandicoot going to Xbox. LawBreakers. Cliffy B versus Xbox fanboys and whatnot. Dead Rising 4 being untimely flop.
What's Wiz's opinion on that? Since he wasn't in here.
Yeah, you weren't here for a lot of content, Wiz.
Yeah,
you have any thoughts on Dead Rising 4?
I'm awake now. So Dead Rising 4. The main problem with Dead Rising is they're on not a very popular system, and the problems with Dead Rising 3 was they had like all the DLC fragmented, just like they had with Dead Rising 4. Dead Rising 3 had the same problem too. And also,
someone just put a Ghost Recon code in the comments section.
Crap! Let me go get that.
Oh shit, they cool as fuck for that. Yeah, so it was mainly like the release and like how they did it. They released it on the least popular console, and they had a DLC fragmented and unreleased. So by the time everything comes together, you might as well get it on PlayStation. And then it was also like badly optimized, which is why your buddy refers to it as dead frame rate. Because I got Dead Rising 3.
That's Dead Rising 3. You're talking about Dead Rising 4. Why did it flop?
Shout out to Frozen, man, for free promoting shit. He just put a Mass Effect in the comment section too.
I don't know how Dead Rising 4 runs.
It runs fine.
It runs fine. You got it on PC?
I got it on Xbox.
Oh, well, PC. How's it run on PC?
I don't have the PC version. It wasn't a Play Anywhere title.
Ooh, another thing I kind of heard it. I don't know. Just because it just was on the least popular system, so it was on the least popular system, so I don't think it's really going to help it. And plus,
Steam is more popular than Xbox.
Franchise.
It's on Steam.
No, I'm sorry, Wiz. That game sold because it was trash.
Yeah, they gotta. I don't know. I just feel like with Dead Rising games, like Capcom games, they don't optimize them very well. Like they're not that great on console, and they're like.
You'll see, the thing is, when Dead Rising games come out, you know, would it have sold extremely well? No, but it would definitely have sold north of 1 million by now if it was a good Dead Rising game.
It would have sold great on PlayStation.
I know people that when they got that game, they're like, "Yo, is that a good game?" I was like, "Nah, I can't tell you it's a good game. I just can't." It's, you know, see kids playing in the background, like, you know, look at it. Like Dead Rising's always had that, you know, that silly factor behind it, but you know, at least you could do that with someone else. The fact that game did not have co-op made it trash to me.
Oh, it don't have co-op?
No, that's the reason it didn't sell.
Probably DLC. Just bullshit business practices, teaming up with the wrong people.
And I know it's so.
Dude, can you stop? You act like this is the first exclusive Dead Rising. 3 of the 4 Dead Rising has been exclusive to Xbox.
I know, but I mean, I'm saying they teamed up with the wrong console and bullshit
They didn't
DLC
team up with
practices.
the wrong. No, the DLC. Who doesn't do DLC?
But I mean, they segment their stuff. Like the ending
Who
of Dead
doesn't
Rising 4
segment their stuff? Look at Destiny.
Well, Destiny was done by Bungie, man. They
But
already
they're
had
still selling gangbusters, doing all the wrong practices that you're complaining about us with Dead Rising. But
well, I don't. Just want to let you know, I don't support Destiny. I think it's bullshit too. But there's fanboys.
Hey,
I'm sorry, I don't support. It's a full of shit game. That game fucking pissed me off after I saw the crap they're doing. And Capcom tries to pull the same junk, and it's like, Capcom, the only credibility I got that with is Street Fighter.
Everybody tries that. And they don't have credibility with Street Fighter either, because that game flopped too.
look, everyone. There's a lot of people that are saying Dead Rising 4 was a good game, but it's that that perception that word of mouth. It didn't have that. When you jumped in a party with someone like, yo, is that a good game?
I'm going to replay that game. It's a good. Hopefully, help the sales.
This is exactly what I told people. It's a good game, but it's selfish. You can't play with anyone else, and that was the key aspect to the other Dead Rises that made them so great.
You called the game selfish?
Someone else. What?
You just called the game selfish?
It was selfish.
Selfish. It wants your fucking. This is coming from someone who owns all the Dead Risings, man. I played all the Dead Risings. It was very niche, and it was tough, so it wasn't really casual friendly. And then they had all this crazy DLC shit, and it's like it won't appeal to the wider audience, and it won't appeal to the straight hardcore audience because you keep with this whole crazy DLC nonsense. How you have things segmented off. Dead Rising 4 didn't help.
Yeah,
it wasn't much segmented. The add-on that I played had really isn't anything that you were missing out of the game. But shout out to all the people watching. For those who are all EA Access subscribers, Titanfall 2 is now in the EA Access vault. If you have not had the moment or chance to play Titanfall 2, it had a great story. The multiplayer sucked, but the story was great. If you boycotted Titanfall 2 last fall, I can understand, but it is available for free finally in the EA Access. One of my main complaints for Titanfall 2 prior to it releasing was the lack of EA Access support. It wasn't in trial. You didn't get a discount off of it. So that was my beef with Titanfall 2. But now it is in EA Access, and it is in a vault for you to download today. And AJ, I know you're about to say something. You can carry on.
Yeah, I just want to give a huge shout out to Frozen. This dude don't drop 4 codes in this comment section.
Wow.
This dude's gonna bring promotion to y'all shit. He gonna be like, yo, I'm dropping codes in the Xbox Planet.
I heard Panda's voice. You're about to say something.
Yes, I sent you over that Quantum Break
yeah, maybe
clip that I made, and I named it Quantum Break Bullshit.
Whoa.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna.
She got that heat for Quantum Break. Damn.
I'm gonna download. I'm gonna try to. Can I download?
Were you in here whenever I told them what happened?
Then you say something about the car crash or car kept hitting you or something.
Yeah. The car blew up in the distance. Me trying to get past this one part, the car blew up and the door hit the wall and then it hit me and my character died.
And then you stop playing and you're done.
Yep. I gotta find a way because
I was done.
We didn't say anything important in our Planet Xbox chat, so let me drag this over to the main screen so everybody can see this. Boom.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, and I'm about to watch short.
Wasn't it ridiculous?
Hold on, I forgot Dead Rising is still playing. Let me fix this.
Poor Dead Rising. It deserves better. It deserves better publishers. It deserves better quality.
Oh, get out of here with that crap, man. Dead Rising is fine.
He's not lying.
Here's Panda's experience with Quantum Break. And of course, Twitter sucks when it comes to playing videos.
He doesn't believe me, man. I played all the Dead
God.
He doesn't believe me, Adam.
What? It went away.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
It went away. No, the video went away. It couldn't be played.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the car door. Like, it just, falls into the ground.
Heck? There we go.
Can't let this happen yet.
Definitely making the podcast stale, kid. Gotta be talking.
But we watched the trailer together. That's what it was. We're good. All right.
Look,
Cool.
look at the door.
All right.
Whoa, the door didn't
Literally,
hit you.
it literally hit me in the chin.
You're like, what? And then she quit the game.
Right?
And
Yep, I
never
was
played
done.
it again. I'm actually still disappointed in that, Panda. But yeah, let's get ready to get out of here. You know what I mean? And somebody said it seemed like a fair death, Panda. So I don't know, man. You might.
Hey, if it's a fair death, if it was saying, "Hey, you need to stop playing this game," and I was like,
Damn.
fair enough. All right.
You don't play Dark Souls, do you?
I actually really want to. It looks like a difficult game that you get really frustrated at, but nothing's more frustrating than something that's not supposed to kill you in a game.
Don't watch Kids Move stream. Then it's gonna deter you. It's not that hard. I promise.
I didn't think the game was hard. I just don't like games where I die and I have to start back over again.
You got mad at the beginning of the.
No, I've played
the
many
first
games like
boss.
that. That doesn't bother me. It's things like what just happened to me in Quantum Break that.
Oh.
Quantum Break is easy. Like I started that game on like the hardest difficulty, and then I played it again on like the traditional difficulty. It's pretty short. You should I guarantee if you pick it up like now since you haven't touched it in like a year, you would probably breeze through it in like an hour or two.
I'm pretty sure you
Yeah.
don't want to play Quantum Break, to be honest with you.
Attic, have you played through Quantum Break?
I played 25 minutes of it.
See, he's not the right person to tell you.
That 25 minutes was 22
He's
minutes too
not
long.
credible for.
So, Addict, you didn't like Quantum Break?
I just did.
He doesn't
Oh,
like
it looks like
he doesn't
game.
like Xbox exclusives.
How
Oh.
is that facts? Like, you be acting like I don't. I play Halo.
Wait, you don't like Xbox podcast? How you don't like Xbox exclusives?
Because I'm playing Xbox. It's not that I don't like Xbox exclusives. I don't like the games they've been giving me.
Damn, that's tragic.
It's not tragic. He just.
That's tragic, fam. Oh god.
There's only 2 games. There's 2.5 games. I think that Attic.
How is it that I'm the only one in here that had? I'm a fan of Recore and Halo Wars 2.
Yeah, I was
and no
going to say
one else
Recore and
is,
Halo
so
Wars 2.
Get off my back.
And
Get
I
off
will
my
give
back.
you that. You are a fan of the games that the majority is not that are Xbox exclusive. That's our Halo Wars 2. But you don't like Gears of War. You don't play Forza, which I can understand. Not everybody's into racers.
I don't mind Horizon.
But Quantum
Are you like a
Break.
PC gamer?
Nope.
Oh, you're
No,
not.
he's an Xbox gamer.
I like Dead Rising 3. So keep going.
And
Kid.
he hates Dead Rising 4. What are your thoughts on Ori and the Blind Forest?
I ain't played it. I need to play that one. But Wes, go ahead and say your intro.
Oh, Sunset Overdrive. You don't like Sunset Overdrive?
No.
My God.
That's interesting.
You like Rise
It's
Center
like,
Rome?
Yeah, I like Rise Center Rome.
Okay.
Rise is okay, but it kind of got redundant after a while. I was cool with it till I was like, "What the
See,
fuck?"
keep talking shit, kid. We have what 3 Xbox exclusives I didn't like, and I like the rest. Keep talking shit.
You don't like any of the main
He kinda
like
got you,
relevant
man.
ones. He doesn't got me. He's
I beat Dark Souls 1 better than anything you beat this whole game.
this whole Dark Souls. I don't care. Anybody can beat Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and Bloodborne. I do not care, and that does not impress me.
Hey, comment section. Do you agree with kid's statement?
Of course they do.
I don't know.
I'm the
brother.
best spot, and it's time for
You
us
was
to
having a show
go.
with that first boss. You was having a show with that first boss, and like, I was gonna try to play your stream while watching Game of Thrones, but you was being a little too loud. I was like, "What the fuck? What are you yelling for? It's the first boss." Like, what you gonna do when you get invaded by a player?
Nothing. I wasn't playing that game for my own personal like.
When are you supposed to play the rest with Black Bond? People asking in the comment
Can't
section.
because he had to start over. And I don't think he wants to do that.
Are you serious?
Hey, tell his ass he better start over, man. I donate to the Patreon. That means I get my request. So go.
Hey, if it's Black Bond's fault, and you have
Is-
to repick another game, pick the shittiest thing you could think of and make Black Bond pay it.
fucking pick some like.
He has to pick. He has to play both of your hours, kids and his. Make the shittiest game you can think of.
Okay, the reason why I wanted y'all to co-op was because I knew that Kid Smooth would need help because he don't get the whole franchise and how it works. I kept spamming.
Yeah, it works like garbage.
I mean, it's not going to be hard. All Smooth has to do. I mean, he don't even have to play if you don't want to.
I was like, damn.
But it's time for us to get out of here, though.
Oh yeah.
All right, so please, with your outros.
He said Black Bond said he will make a new character.
There you go.
Cool. Outros.
What's going on, you guys? Game Me Out here. Appreciate you coming in. Even the people that were hating on me, it's cool. You guys are still here watching it. Definitely subscribe to my channel, Game Me Addict. Subscribe to, follow me on Twitter. Definitely subscribe to the Iron Lords podcast. It's the other podcast I do on Sundays. Thanks. See you next Tuesday.
All right, Wiz.
All right. It's Wiz Fiasco, aka Wiz, aka Wizard. Why?
Oh no.
Because you cannot fathom the wizardry. And check me out Mondays, like 8 o'clock Central. Do Life and Time podcast, talk about pop culture, all that great stuff. I apologize for my lateness. It's usually my nap time, so I woke up late.
People want to hear you say the C-section thing, dude. They
C-section. The C-section. Zero time, but I'll say it anyways. Okay. It's Wizard, aka Wiz, aka Wizard. Why? The wizardry. So how you gonna act when I talk to you in the C-section?
Oh my god. And Panda.
Well, I'm Panda. You can follow me on Twitter at capital FSP ANDA, capital FTW on Twitter. I have a YouTube. I don't really do much on it, but Twitter is probably the best thing you can reach me at.
Panda for the win. And
yes.
Just to close us out, thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button. We'll see you guys next week. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We out of here. Peace.